It's fun to talk in other accents.
It's really fun.
It's a great time.
And if nobody can hear you, did the accent even happen?
Exactly. If a Jamaican falls in the forest.
Did he even wagwan? You know what I mean?
The government growing babies. Microchips in your anus. All koala bears are racist. The ozone layer owes me money. Martians invented turkey stuffing. Y'all can't tell me nothing.
Oh, bow wow, you just don't know. The way you move so fast across the flow, you make it run through my mind like all the time, to the point that I just want to take you home. Welcome, Lil Mommas and Gentiles alike, to another phenomenal episode of My Momma Told Me.
The podcast where we dive deep into the pockets of black conspiracy theories.
And we finally worked to prove that Kevin Durant is not, in fact, lazy with his hair regimen. He is just going bald in a peculiar manner. I'm David Gborie.
I'm Langston Kerman. And I will say, it is an odd way to lose your hair. It's not traditional in any sense of the word.
Truly the worst I've ever seen. If we're
it's bad, and then I think he is so in love with basketball. He's so committed to the sport that he doesn't do anything to fix it. Like LeBron is constantly managing his shit, and right. Durant is like, nah, I gotta hoop, and it just is working against him in every way.
Yeah, LeBron can take the flight to Romania.
Yeah.
That being said, how long did it take him to write that rap? You know?
What?
Kevin Durant?
I forgot that he had a rap song.
He was talking. It was...
I'll be honest, and I'm not proud of this, but I am such a big Kevin Durant fan that I didn't listen to the song because I knew it was going to make me feel less about him in a way that I didn't. I'm like, this dude, I've remained a fan despite every choice that he continues to make. And what I figured out is I had to build a little wall to keep myself safe from whatever that is.
I understand that. I listened because I thought maybe he would surprise us. Like, did you ever hear when Jill Scott rapped? And you were like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping was going to happen.
You thought it was going to be like Chris Brown secretly. Yeah. Like, oh, shit, this motherfucker's actually kind of good.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
It was not.
No. I probably watched like 15 seconds of him truly just talking with a beat behind him. And Nope. 2.5 minutes. You're damn wrong. I'm going to watch that.
I understand. I do understand. Like, okay, if they came and they were like, David and Langston, I want you to make a rap song.
Mm-hmm.
That is also what I would do. I would get as close to just talking on the, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that it's when I try to get all tricky, that's when it's going to fuck me up. So I understand that.
You feel like if you put too much heart into it, it's going to start to expose you as a bad artist.
That's how I feel about stand-up comedy.
Yeah. Fuck, yeah. Goddamn, yeah.
Yeah, that might be the darkest confession of the podcast.
Yeah, man. There are a few... sometimes I'll be running bits, and there's an act out I know that if I tried it could be groundbreaking. It could change the joke, and I'm like, that ain't you, big man. Don't even go over there. Just stay in your little pocket.
In your lane. You don't think I want to include voices?
Yeah. There's a lot of voices. I think we make fun of humping the stool because we all secretly wish we had the confidence to hump the stool. You know what I mean?
I don't want him to judge my stroke. That's why I don't hump the stool.
I'd be terrified. I'd be genuinely afraid. there are like comics who still do it to this day, and some of them are very funny, and some of them do look like they have bad stroke, and I 100% think about it every time I see somebody do that shit.
Because it's like objectively, it's hilarious.
It's funny.
Humping a stool, that's really funny. It's
fucking an inanimate object is funny.
In the house, I do it. I fuck the couch sometimes.
Why?
Water bottles, just like,
okay, just being a rascal.
Just goofing around.
Yeah.
Oh, man, maybe someday we'll get free enough.
Listen,
I don't think so.
I don't know. The R word is back. People
is
are
it?
It's not back for me because I still have people who I love and care about. But I think what I'm trying to say is that I think there's a value system still in place inside of me that doesn't prioritize saying naughty words as like a gimmick. You know what I mean? Like, I think that is very much what it's become. It's like, oh, who's going to be a bad boy enough to say the F word, or the R word? And it's like, not me. I got like 6 cuss words I really like, and I'm just going to keep rocking with those.
6 is a lot.
Yeah. I got some heaters. You know what I mean?
I won't make you untuck them right now, but that's good to know. 6 is many. I got like 3. Yeah. Just the regular ones. Fuck, shit, and ass is kind of my wheelhouse.
Well, bitch, I like
bitch.
Quite
Somebody
a bit.
told me recently that I say bitch more than anybody they've ever met, and that
can't be true.
That's what I think. That's how I felt.
No,
I was like, I think you are a bitch. No, no, it felt crazy.
Nah, he's being ridiculous. I say bitch more than you say bitch.
You say bitch more than me, and I don't even say bitch in terms of women. That's cutting out 30, 40 bitches a day. You know what I'm saying?
I say it in terms of everybody.
Right,
women,
the royal
women
bitch.
Included. Yeah, it is a royal bitch.
But I'm rarely like, this bitch. You know what I mean?
I'm constantly like And not admittedly, there are times where I'll say this bitch about a woman, and then I'll try to figure out a way to then say it about a man.
Yeah,
so that I'm being fair and inclusive. I'm 4 steps ahead with my bitches.
No, you know I understand. There is a level of like, sometimes if you're being a scumbag around people that you don't know, you have to let them know that you go both ways with it. You know, you're like, no, I'm bad to everybody.
Hey, I'm dirty wherever we are.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's true for all of us, comedians and, civilians alike. I think everybody.
Don't call.
Well, David, we're warriors.
I hate it.
we're the front line.
It's the worst thing that ever happened. The only thing we have in common that the military is we don't give equal rights to women. Other than that is not.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, we were pretty mean to women and gay people for a long time, and now we let them in, but we're not pumped about it.
Yeah, nobody loves it. I do.
The royal nobody.
Yeah. Like the bitch.
Yeah, I would say that everybody deserves jokes that are private, even if they are problematic. I think that there is a real danger, and this is part of where I think we get so much pushback against the quote-unquote liberal agenda, these snowflakes, as it were, is that the ask is that we remove all of this language from our entire lexicon, and that's not honest, that's not fun, and that ain't fair.
It's not real, yeah.
If I'm going to be as honest as possible on this podcast, I don't want bigoted words to come back. I don't want hate speech to reemerge. I don't want any of sort of the backwards shit that I think a lot of white bro-y comedy is attempting to rebuild inside of our already damaged society.
Oh, they're doing it.
But boy, oh boy, would I love if we could just make accents open field again.
Like fair use.
Fair use accents. You do whoever's voice is the funniest voice as long as you do it well.
I think it's context. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But you ever notice when white guys do like homeless guy voice, it's always a black person?
Of course.
That's where I'm like, come on, bro.
It's always, say there, brother.
Yeah.
Say, Mr. Man. It's like, come on.
That's always, they love it. And it's the most woke white dude comment to it.
It's fucking disgusting.
Hey, massa, can I get a quarter? And you're like, wait, what? There's a comic book guy?
But also, the guy you're talking about wasn't like that.
No.
Why is that your instinct?
Most likely wasn't black.
Fuck.
Oh, well.
We're never going to heal the world. And that's not really what this podcast is for, if we're being honest. This is a David and Langston episode where we're talking conspiracies amongst ourselves.
She pulls out her breasts and she's juggling them. Look like she's about to fall over. Then she bends over and pulls down her panties. Spreads her cheeks. I'm not lying. I'm telling you what's on the video. Spreads her cheeks. This is madness.
So I couldn't figure out a good place to put it, but I knew it would be funny anyway.
It's so long. Spreads her cheeks. This is madness.
That clip makes me want to go back to church.
I truly still to this day, and I've watched that clip 100 times. I still don't know what video he's talking about when he's explaining the whole thing, but I'd love to see it.
I mean, I feel like I understand the ilk.
I get it. I think
I'm familiar with the genre.
It's a teacher. It was a teacher or somebody who had an OnlyFans, and then he's describing in detail what's happening in the OnlyFans. Which, what a phenomenal description.
Man. Kids these days don't know how good they have it. Could you imagine finding your teacher's OnlyFans?
Man. Yeah.
That's all I got to.
Hey.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I absolutely could imagine that.
That was beautiful. It was like a beautiful song. I forgot what we were talking about.
We're gonna get into a conspiracy theory. This is one that we actually, in honor of Juneteenth, with Juneteenth is coming up, we were talking about the possibility as a conspiracy theory, and we should say it correctly so that it all gets recorded as it should. But the conspiracy that we were discussing, My Momma Told Me.
There are no more black holidays.
Damn.
Yeah.
Speak on it.
Well, let's talk about it because we are talking about it in reference to Juneteenth. Juneteenth, we know, is a holiday that sort of is meant to commemorate the people who were tricked, essentially, or rather the realization that they discovered that slavery had ended roughly 2 years before they were actually freed in Texas.
God, that's nasty work.
It's really awful shit that they did, where slavery is abolished nationally, everybody is freed, and then these people, just because of lack of resources and communication, kept on working for another 2 years. And Juneteenth was born out of the day that they are sort of like fully freed, right. Discovered this freedom. And now, through the powers of the white man, it is a national holiday. It's a holiday that everybody gets off, whites and blacks alike. We all are allowed to go barbecue on Juneteenth in celebration of...
Some people boil.
Okay, fair enough. in celebration of sort of white trickery. And I guess I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Juneteenth specifically, and then maybe we can broaden this thing out to the greater conversation.
I think that, listen, it does reek to be a celebration of the trickery
Mm-hmm.
because it, like, had it been a majority of people, I get it, but like for it to be a smaller group, it feels like, why wouldn't we just celebrate when it was abolished?
Yeah, I mean,
Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, it is odd that we've never had a day to just celebrate the abolition of slavery. Maybe there is a day and I'm just unaware of it, or it's like one of them bullshit holidays.
there's no street festival for it.
Yeah, exactly.
It also feels in that it was such a black holiday, in reclaiming it for everyone, it almost feels as if more of a disservice is being done because now we're celebrating the trickery as opposed to the up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
so
it felt like when it was just black people, it almost felt more of a celebration than now.
Yeah, one of the things I admittedly I didn't grow up with Juneteenth as a holiday at all. Like I
I
think
didn't know about till junior high school.
yeah, it's a very Southern specific sort of celebration, I think. And so in a lot of ways, it felt co-opted even by myself after, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't some shit that I just knew. It was something that like I got older and like some people told me about and they were having a cookout. So yeah, I'm going to go. But like, it wasn't in my lexicon from the beginning. And so in that way, it just feels odd that suddenly America, which objectively, if I didn't know about it, none of these whiteys knew about it, are now suddenly like openly celebrating or at least being rewarded in some way for a day that first off didn't exist to them, but second off, they hold no real respect for. Like it doesn't mean anything to you.
Right. And I also feel like, and maybe this is splitting hairs, but I do feel like the day should be the abolishment of slavery. Like if we're trying to keep in mind what, like if the point of the holiday is to remember whatever happened, I feel like making Juneteenth the holiday and not the abolishment of slavery is like, it's like a way of minimalizing it.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, Juneteenth, I don't know what the fuck that is. You know what I mean?
And I will say, and I don't disagree with you, I will say that the counter argument would be that it is the celebration of the abolishment, right? It is the official abolishment because these people were living under this ruse for the years past when abolishment actually was announced. And so that I think is the claim that people make, and certainly was the motivation for Black people recognizing the day in the first place. It's like, oh, this is the official day that everybody became free, not just
right.
the masses became free. But to your point, I think there is a weird reductive thing that happens for people who don't understand that difference, to be like, I guess they just hold this day extra special instead of recognizing that, like, nah, it's because there's like a real violence was happening even past the point of the law.
Right. Maybe it's like a naming thing. That might be it. It might be the nomenclature. Maybe I feel like they should call it We All Got Free Day. You know what I mean? Like, just make it like Veterans Day. I don't have to remember what that is.
Right. Yeah, it's right in the name.
You know what I'm saying?
This for y'all.
MLK Day. Boom. Got it.
Yeah. Labor Day.
Uh-huh.
Pregnant ladies.
Come on. Memorial Day. Barbecues, I don't quite know what it is to be.
Yeah, the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day is real thin.
What is it?
I think Memorial Day is for those that we lost in service, and Veterans Day is for those who have served.
Okay, because I feel like Veterans Day, I see a lot of people celebrate. Memorial Day, because to me, Memorial Day and Labor Day just mark my favorite time of year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's true. It's the beginning and the end of what I like.
Yeah, Labor Day is the one that gives me anxiety, and Memorial Day is the one that makes me feel free.
Yeah.
From all of my burdens. But no, I don't disagree. But yeah, apparently Memorial Day is meant to honor like your grandpa, because he's not with us anymore, but he fought kind
But
of
also
thing.
Veterans Day then is the same.
Veterans Day, you're honoring your grandpa, but you're also honoring that kid you went to high school with who got bad grades and signed up for the military.
Yeah, he joined because they would let him say those words he was writing on the bathroom walls.
Yeah, now he wears Oakleys on the back of his head, and you're like, I honor you, sir.
No, I mean, listen, I'm all for it. I think it's fine. I guess it does, but Juneteenth does feel reductive way more than those. I feel like I see more Black people celebrate Veterans Day than Juneteenth. If we're just talking about like Instagram posts,
Yeah.
stories, I know a lot of dudes with Dodge Chargers.
Yeah, I think I was initially very excited about Juneteenth as a premise because it was a Black holiday. It felt very much like this is only really being acknowledged by Black people I know. It's sort of like a fun. We used to throw like a little bit of a pool party when we lived in an apartment out here on Juneteenth, and then when it became a national holiday, it now feels a lot ickier, where it's like, oh, this is just like I could be throwing the party and it wouldn't just be me and my friends. It would be like everybody's out partying, and that feels odd in a way that I don't like.
I know what you're saying. The question, I guess, that comes to mind for me from that is, how do you make things inclusive while retaining the sense of value that it has to a singular community? And that's like that's a very tough line to tell. Like, I don't know the answer to that, right? Because I do think on the one hand, it is important to celebrate, but there is that watering down of things. And I don't know. I feel like maybe you always get that. You're always going to get that.
Yeah, I guess, and I want to be careful when I say this.
Are you going to do a voice?
Yeah. I want to do one so bad for the bit. For the bit, I just want to go into some shit.
It would be the funniest thing if you were like, Confucius says or whatever.
I think that a few of us did a major disservice by demanding recognition of something that should have remained private. I think that there are examples of that historically, and now more than ever, we keep doing this thing as Black people where we go like, they must acknowledge our voices, our experiences. They must see what we live and how we live and what we've been through. And it's like, yes, sort of, but we can't just give them the shit. You know what I mean? We can't just hand it over and call that acknowledgement. And I think there is something dangerous about taking something that really was like fun and cool and kind of like underground and then demanding that it become a national holiday, because their intentions don't change, right? They don't become more careful with our feelings. They just take the day off from work.
Right. I mean, I agree. I think that was pretty well said. I was nervous when you started the point.
But I also don't want it to turn into, I think part of my nerves is I don't want it to turn into like, shame on you, Black people, for advocating for yourself. That's not the point. But the point is that, like, I think the most dangerous thing that Black people do often is want white affirmation. I think we are so unfortunately trained to seek white affirmation to the point of our own detriment. Like, it doesn't help us.
As opposed to not being worried what they're doing at all. Those are
Fuck them, man.
Those are the freest people I know.
Yeah.
There's always the freest dudes who are like, I don't give a fuck about what they got going on.
50 Cent don't give a shit.
No. But I don't know if he gives a shit about us either.
No, I'm not saying he's a hero.
I think Curtis flies, no flag.
Yeah, I don't think that man serves not one nation ever.
He serves the G Unit nation.
I think that whatever that ninth bullet was, it cut off all attachment to
disconnected his brain from his heart.
Yeah, it's just my man is full Grinch out here and he don't give a shit.
Hilarious though. The funniest rapper I think maybe
Very
of our
funny.
time.
The fact that he already has the Diddy documentary in production is nuts.
I love it. You know what I love about 50 is when his humor mixes up with morality just on accident. Like that Diddy gonna play with your butt. I don't think that's because he's a good guy. I think he just doesn't like Diddy. And then it's like everybody's like 50 Cent call. It is like he does not give. But that's hilarious. That's so funny.
50 Cent is a very, very bad guy too. He just doesn't do that.
Is he though?
I think so. I don't think he's a good guy. I don't think he's the type of bad guy we're talking about of like sex criminal and like fucking captor, woman beater. But I definitely think he's like mean to grandmas and fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I think he's run people over with his car.
Wait, is that a story or you just saying
I don't think
that?
he's like hit people. I think he's like backed out and run over a valet's foot and then they screamed and then he kept driving. That's the kind of like bad guy I think 50 Cent is.
I'll take that. That's not so bad.
Right. And I think that's for everybody to decide on a personal level.
Who among us hasn't hit a foreigner with their car and drove away?
A few of us on the podcast, I would say, haven't had that experience.
All right. Well, you know, one of us doesn't have a driver's license, so you figure it out. Should we do an ad break before we get into it?
We should take a break. And then I did a little bit of research on this conversation, and maybe that'll help you, the listeners, decide where you stand in all of this. So we'll take a break. We'll be back with more David, more Langston, more My Momma Told Me.
We are back. So I do want to speak to, because we came in talking about it and we kind of pulled from it. This idea is what we wanted to discuss is not necessarily the validity of Juneteenth, but the idea that there are no Black holidays anymore.
Yeah, that there are no, and when we say Black holidays, at least we maybe should clarify that like there are technically Black holidays, right? That like Juneteenth being an example of one, Martin Luther King Day being another. I think those are technically, if my research
I feel like those
is
are the
correct,
two.
I think those are the only two national holidays relating to
There's the
Black
month,
history,
but that seems very.
It's loose.
It's very loose that month.
It's
it feels
very
like
loose.
Do you feel like, because when was Black History Month enacted? It feels like within our lifetime, right?
No, it's not in our lifetime.
No?
I actually looked it up. The original sort of like introduction of what would eventually become Black History Month was 1916.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
It basically was introduced at first as like a Black History Day. Carter G. Woodson is given the credit for sort of the initiation of it all, but it was like it started as like a day of commemoration and then a week. Negro Achievement Week, I believe it was originally called.
I think maybe we keep that name.
Negro Achievement Week?
Right after Black Bike Week.
It's Black Beach Week, Black Bike Week, and Negro Achievement Week.
That's your whole summer break, baby.
But even that, I think is such a good example of like Black Bike Week remains a black holiday because we don't demand that they participate in the shit.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like them
Yeah.
niggas in Myrtle Beach just keep being themselves in Myrtle Beach on their bikes with their weird used to be bad bitch ladies.
Man,
Because
we should pull up. Can we get we should get Will Ferrell to send us to Black Bike Week.
bro, if we went to Black Bike Week and hosted a live episode,
Let's go!
I don't know that we'll survive, but I'd have fun.
You go out doing what you love.
If I'm going to die, kill me at Black Bike Week.
I don't want to ride one of the motorcycles, but I want to sit on a motorcycle that's the color of tropical starburst. Starburst is weird. And
I thought you could pronounce it different now. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Is playing So Rough, So Tough by Zapp and Roger.
Come on, man.
Every time I see an old black guy on a motorcycle with loud music, I get jealous.
That'd be so cool. They would hate our guts, but man, would we have fun down there.
Who cares, man?
That's not about that.
It's about this is true. I just typed in Black Bike Week into YouTube, and the first thing I see is a lady on a giant white and pink motorcycle, and then another lady walking by with a t-shirt that says Big Booties Matter.
Come on.
Which I didn't even know was in contention.
I think it keeps ebbing and flowing. I think there was a period where white people hated them, and then they embraced them mostly on their own bodies, and now I think they're pushing back against them again.
Okay. Well, either way, but I see what you're saying. Black Bike Week.
That's a real holiday.
Right,
that's a real black holiday. Fucking
homecoming, even.
Yeah, that what is it? The Howard Homecoming is like a real black holiday that remains black because they don't then go, hey, white people, you must be a part of this. You must prove that you recognize our commitment to our culture. It's like, no, just leave them out of this.
I mean, because also force is not maybe the way. I think there is a point to where forced acceptance is necessary, whether it be like integrating schools and stuff like that. But things like a holiday, I just don't know if that ultimately does what you want it to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It is worth noting that Carter G. Woodson, basically, he hoped that others would popularize the findings and sort of like the culture of all the things that he was doing with the Negro History Week, whatever it was called. And then that eventually snowballed into what we now understand to be the, February Black History Month.
Right. No,
it wasn't, and even I think, where did I read it? There was something I read that basically said that even as he was sort of like building this thing, the intention wasn't as much of like, oh, we're just gonna like spend a month making, crediting all of the things that black people do. In February, I always thought February was what it got assigned. He picked February.
Why?
He was like, nah, February's the move.
Why?
Woodson chose February for reasons of tradition and reform. It is commonly said that Woodson selected February to encompass the birthdays of two great Americans who played a prominent role in shaping Black history, namely Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, whose birthdays are the 12th and the 14th. And I remember reading that it wasn't so much that he was like, oh, I love Abraham Lincoln and I love Frederick Douglass for like their work, but he basically was like, there's a lot of shit happening all at once, so February sort of makes sense if we're going to be able to build this thing.
Right. Okay.
So it had its intention, and I know every year we complain that it's the shortest month, and what an odd choice that would be the one for black people. But it turns out the black dude that made it wanted it that way.
I also don't. The shortest month thing is like a bit, right? That's not really my issue with it.
No, it's not like I'm celebrating Black History Month every day, the whole month anyway.
Well, and I almost think that is my issue with it, is that it becomes so long that it is diluted.
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to like some kind of, what did you say, nigga advancement week? That
Nigga do better. Nigga do better day.
I mean, but there is something to like, you can't keep it, because I don't think any month ascribed to a people outside of that group of people. Listen, a lot of people talk about Pride Month. It's not people outside of that community as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I will say that again, I'd be curious to talk to a queer person about some of the co-opting of Pride, even that like you see fucking the second that June 1st hits, every brand is sort of like transforming their logos and putting up flags and sort of embrace, screaming about their embrace of like queer culture. And it's like, I don't know that they mean that shit. And I don't know that that helps queer people in any honest way.
Right. I mean, man, bro, at least the Pride that I've been to within San Francisco when I lived there, it almost felt less, it was just a party. It was just a street party.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of heterosexual stuff going on, to be, you know what I mean? A ton. You know?
And I think it should feel a little, I think true cultural celebration should feel almost like outsider art. They should feel like something that like a average person can't just walk into and make sense of, because it is honest to the culture and not just, fucking, a cliff notes of what culture is.
Right. That being said, I do love an ethnic street fair. I mean,
it's awesome.
Yeah, I was out with the lowriders on Cinco de Mayo, and that's my birthday.
I went to there's like an Italian street fair that happens in New York one time, and like
isn't that every day in New York?
Well, sure, but this is the one they acknowledge. But it was like in Little Italy, and like they had like a bunch of foods I had never heard of. It wasn't, you know what I mean? This is an Italian street. I'm like, all right, spaghetti and the rest, and nah, they were eating all kinds of shit I had never heard of and doing weird stuff. And I was like, this is cool. I never been a part of this.
Bro, I love tell me, I will pull up on any ethnic street fair. It's like the greatest.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe that's what I wish the energy was for our holidays is more, it is something that you could pull up on as a white person. I don't want it to be exclusive, but I don't want it to be something where you just sort of reap the benefits without ever having to interact with us directly.
I will say I do like the idea of, with it becoming a national holiday, I like the idea of resources being poured into it that wouldn't have been before. Cause like we went to Jazz Fest yesterday, and like in 5 Points, which is a like historically black neighborhood or whatever, and like they got signs for they're having a Juneteenth street festival in which Lil Bow Wow is performing.
Hell yeah!
And like I don't know if because it's like city funded, and I don't know if that would have been able to be as big before that
without the national recognition,
right? And I think that's cool. And I wish that I'm going to be in Canada for Juneteenth because I make great decisions.
Oh man.
But
yeah, I get what you're saying.
Great. I think that's great. I think that's great for kids. I think putting some infrastructure around it allows it to ultimately grow. So it is like, I don't know, what are we asking for? Because if we are asking to keep it insular to the point that we can't worry about what they're doing, okay, yeah, some of them are going to take it off and not care and blah, 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 blah. But if we're getting more resources to this thing, I do think of it as a net positive.
Yeah, I just wonder about the way the resources are actually being used. Like, to your point, I think that's great that Lil Bow Wow.
Bow Wow, don't do that.
That grown Bow Wow.
Shad Moss.
Durag
magnate.
Can find funding or rather this organization can find funding to pay Shad Moss to appear at their festival. On the flip side, I resent the fact that that funding is only disseminated at the point that we are fighting for a national holiday.
Fair.
I think that funding should have existed years before it did, regardless of whether Shad Moss is available or not.
Also, I'll give you $2,500 if you want to book Shad Moss.
You think that's all it costs to book
No,
Shad
I'm
Moss?
kidding. Me and my friend, we were talking about it though. He said he thinks 5. I said I think 10.
To get Bow Wow to perform?
Yeah.
I think it's way more than 10.
You think it's way more than 10?
Yeah, I think
good.
I think he's asking for 20 plus, and I think
Settling for 15.
Yeah, maybe he settles at 15, but I think he's definitely showing up asking for like 20 to 50, and then they talk him down because where else he gonna be?
Denver on Juneteenth.
Yeah,
shout out.
One of the things I also looked up was the list of other Black holidays. There are apparently a ton of state holidays as it relates to Black stuff.
Okay.
There's a Rosa Parks Day that is either February 4th or December 1st. I don't quite understand.
God damn it.
It's celebrated. The states that celebrated are Alabama, California, Michigan, Missouri, Ohio, Oregon, Tennessee, and Texas. There's Emancipation Day, which apparently what we were talking about is, and this is fucking crazy, it's either March 22nd, April 16th, or May 20th, or July 3rd, or November 1st.
Bro.
And I think depends on the state, and the states are Florida, Maryland, Puerto Rico, Washington, D.C.
Puerto Rico?
Bro, I'm just telling you what they said. And the United States Virgin Islands apparently celebrates this.
That makes me so mad about my home state. Puerto Rico does it.
Yeah.
They know Black, puppy. We can't.
You got a voice in there. There you go.
I didn't do it though. You notice
you didn't do it to the full extent of your power.
I said it in my voice. And that's kind of a workaround.
That's how you cheat the system. There's Harriet Tubman Day, which this one is March 10th. There is no debate about it. Only Maryland apparently celebrates it. It commemorates the death of Harriet Tubman, which feels odd. There's Malcolm X Day, which Illinois is the only place that celebrates it, May 19th. And that's the birth. Yeah, we got it. That's the birthday of Malcolm X. There's Barack Obama Day. That's also in Illinois. It's August 4th, the birthday of Barack Obama.
Hawaii said no comment.
And Kenya was like, we celebrate too.
Yeah. Huge festival in Nairobi.
And we love Barack Obama Day. Put us on the motherfucking map, baby.
Oh, it's hilarious.
There's Transit Equity Day or Transit Equality Day. I assume that has something to do with
Black people on the bus?
Yeah, the bus boycotts, and that's in Wisconsin for some reason on February 4th, and it's on the birthday of Rosa Parks. And then finally there's George Washington Carver Day, February 1st, and that's only in Iowa.
What?
Look, man, there are also some other crazy
Didn't George Washington Carver work at Tuskegee? Was he born in Iowa?
I've never known George Washington Carver to have anything to do with Iowa.
Neither have I.
Apparently he's a big Iowa
No, he was
guy.
born in Diamond, Missouri.
Okay.
He went to Iowa State as well.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, that makes some sense. I went to his house when I was a kid.
Was he there?
We went to his house. We went to Booker T's house.
He was like,
David. It's me, George Washington Carver. I talk like this because my balls got cut off. Does everybody know that about me?
I don't know if maybe this was good that you have that back.
I'm back, baby.
Wait, what you said his balls got cut off?
There's a conspiracy theory. I'm surprised we haven't talked about this together on the podcast. It certainly has come up. There is a conspiracy theory that George Washington Carver had a surprisingly high-pitched voice because he was castrated as a boy.
Ugh.
He was born into slavery and was
Yeah.
castrated, and then was freed and obviously did a bunch of cool shit. But the theory is that his voice was really, really high because of his castration. It's the same theory that people had about Michael Jackson's high voice, although that was obviously proven wrong by all the people who were like, nah, that nigga's voice was real deep. He was being silly.
Yeah. He sounds like Freddie Gibbs.
What if everybody from Gary just talks like Freddie?
That's what I've assumed always. Is that do you not? As men, women, I always
What I would love if there's a listener with the know-how is to redo that doo-doo audio, but now with Freddie saying it. Michael Jackson, you got to do the video too. It's got to be video of Michael Jackson saying there was doo-doo everywhere, but it's with Freddie gives his voice instead.
they can for sure do that. They did that AI Wagwan Delilah Drake shit. You can't do everywhere with Freddie Gibbs.
I was really surprised that was AI. I thought Drake had fully been broken by Kendrick.
I listened to it more times than I care to admit.
That's fair.
It's really funny, man. It's funny how they talk there.
Yeah.
Maybe we start talking in Toronto accents and then we like carry it over.
Ugh, I hate the Toronto accent so much.
It's so funny though.
It's cartoonish. It's like
they're all cartoonish. You ever heard a white guy from Chicago?
Yeah,
that's
fair.
They're all cartoonish. It's all funny.
Yeah, no accent is without its flaws, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is why we deserve to say them, man. It's why we deserve to have some fun with it.
I'm going to start with the Canadians and then work my way down.
That's smart.
Hey, fam, you cheesed. What do they say? Hey there, bud. Hey, I'm a Canadian, bud.
But that's what makes me so mad about it, because they talk like that, but then they say like weird Caribbean words, and that's meant to be like tough guy shit. And
Caribbeans go everywhere. The Caribbean people go everywhere. It's the same reason British people do it.
Well, let me say this. Caribbean people need to stop.
Whoa.
Y'all need to sit the fuck down.
Yo.
The same issue I have with Juneteenth.
Real bad man.
You're spreading yourself too wide, and you're making it so that your culture is now being like misappropriated by a bunch of white weird Canadians, and I don't like that. And Drake is wrong, but you're wronger. So sit the fuck down somewhere and stop chilling with all these people.
Oh man, that's that. They're not. It's just they just go places and are cool. Listen, I'm for it, Caribbean people.
Nope. Nope. Sit
Listen,
down.
Caribbean people, I say, keep it going.
The last thing I'll tell you, and this actually made me laugh pretty hard. There are a bunch of other Black holidays: Jackie Robinson Day, African American Music Appreciation Month, which apparently is June. Obviously, there's Kwanzaa, which unfortunately has been treated with such lack of seriousness that nobody will treat it like a real holiday.
I mean, you could bring it back.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of energy or commitment, but
I
believe in
Christmas house.
Yeah, I believe in whoever has that kind of strength, but it's not me. But my personal favorite, this is my personal favorite day that I read on the list. Apparently, there is a Kunta Kinte Day, Kunta Kinte Heritage Festival that happens.
He's not real.
It happens in Annapolis, Maryland. It's that remarks the arrival of Kunta Kinte, which maybe he was real. I don't understand. No, when you look it up, it's a picture of LeVar Burton as Kunta Kinte.
Fuck you!
Okay, wait, no. Yeah, yes. Okay, he is a fictional character from the novel Roots.
Was Roots a fictional book? I've never read Roots.
Yeah, it's fictional. And not only was it fictional, I believe that Alex Haley, the author, was later revealed to, because he was saying this was all based on real shit. And then it later got revealed that all of it was just him like fucking around. Like none of it was rooted in any real truth of anything. So yeah, it's all made up. But the fact that there's a Kunta Kinte Heritage Day is nuts.
Fuck!
But
God damn it!
That might be our only black holiday. So we got to kind of take it where it is. You know what I mean? Because maybe Kunta Kinte Day is like fucking the blackest thing out there.
Olivia's saying this is a moment for us to start our own holiday.
Oh.
She
That's
said Koofy
nice.
Friday. Maybe we'll workshop it.
I don't think we can make it a weekly thing, and I don't think Koofy Friday is is quite right. But yeah, listeners, if you're inspired, maybe send us your thoughts on what could be the My Momma Told Me inspired holiday.
Listen, if you guys do a good job, next year we'll commit to it. We will do a live show.
We'll do a live show to celebrate the holiday. We'll wear traditional garb. Yep. We'll create traditional garb that we will wear on the holiday. We will fully commit to selling this holiday. You pick the date. You pick the theme. We will pick the best of the themes and suggestions.
Yes. Also, you pick the location.
Pick the location. It's got to be a black.
All the work for us.
It's got to be a black location.
Yeah.
Don't come and be like, we're gonna do it in Vail. Like, no.
I don't know why my state caught it straight.
You know why?
Yeah, I do. I know exactly why.
Yeah, no, we want it to be somewhere black, and we want it to be something cool. So don't come with bullshit. But it also has to be funny.
It has to be funny.
We like funny stuff at this podcast.
Olivia's so smart. Follow My Momma Told Me, and we will vote and poll the results. Now, this is a commitment I can get behind.
Yeah, we're gonna create our own black holiday, and you guys have your chance to weigh in.
This is huge.
It's huge.
I will say we will not be accepting emails from Carlos or Jay Sean.
That, unfortunately, and we're big fans of both of you guys. Let's be clear.
Love your work.
Love your work. Love what you inspire in others. But no, this one you guys got to sit out because
we don't want to get shot.
Your hate speech might overwhelm the goodness of the holiday.
I mean, and honestly, actually, maybe just not Carlos. Jay Sean might have some ideas.
Jay Sean might have some ideas. Now, Jay Sean, I think his problem is his emails go a paragraph too long, and then they transform into pure psychopathy.
That is the hard part.
I would say the first paragraph Jay Sean's always right where he's supposed to be.
Well, this is exciting. We'll have our own holiday. We could have booths, have some local artists out.
Yeah.
Some type of a booty shaking contest. We could judge, right?
I feel
judge
qualified.
an ass shaking contest.
I feel qualified to judge that.
Wow. It's like when I say it out loud, you know how there's things you how there's dreams you never let yourself dare to dream?
Mm-hmm.
And then you speak it sometimes? That's what just happened to me.
We could do gold teeth painting for the kids.
Yeah. And face painting for the kids, because that's just fun. It should be all ages. We got some kind of a food situation.
Oh, we could have those the competitions with the people who make beats with the pins and the caps on the desk.
Oh, get those guys. Bail them out.
Yeah. Free our boys. They got to be
Man.
at the next holiday celebration.
God, there was never a jealousy in my heart greater than the jealousy with the wrist and I ain't got
Dog.
it. I ain't got it at all.
So
Can you
Fresh,
do
So
it?
Clean. No. But I remember So Fresh, So Clean was like the biggest song at the time that was like cool. And man, there were kids in my school who could just go crazy with that shit.
Or
and I
when
was
they had
so
the quarter.
jealous.
You remember when they had the quarter?
Of course, yeah.
God damn. I have no talent. Yeah, this is really exciting. I
think it's great.
I hope it's at a beach place.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
By the water. We get some food trucks out.
Yeah, we'll invest big in this if you guys give us these seeds. Give us the seeds.
Give us the seeds and we'll plan it.
Yeah. So send that all to mymommapod@gmail.com. Do you want to tell the people where they can find you?
Cool Guy Jokes 87 on Instagram. June 30th, I'm headlining Helium Comedy Club in Portland. I have no jokes. So come out and please support me. I ain't got shit. I did the special. I don't have anything. I just been living life. I got nothing. But come out to that. Also, patreon.com/David Gborie. I'm doing 2 videos a week in leading up to the special. A lot of fun behind the scenes content. I got interviews from friends. I just interviewed Langston and Olivia, both great interviews, very funny. If you would like to see that and all kinds of other stuff, go to the Patreon. It's completely free. I won't ask you for money until I ask you to buy my special because my daughter needs milk.
His
that
daughter's
real?
very, very thirsty for milk.
Is that real? No.
As always, you can follow me at Langston Kerman, and I have some pretty exciting news to announce. August 20th, my special called Bad Poetry is going to be out on Netflix.
Let's go.
Netflix. You can watch it all there. August 20th. It was directed by John Mulaney.
Come on.
The White Devil himself.
Come on.
Directed my special and produced it, and I'm really excited about what we made, and it's all going to be coming at you pretty soon. So please keep your eyes and ears out for that.
Pop my butt, pop my butt. Pop my butt, pop my butt.
Do you know what pop my butt meant to Harriet Tubman? Do you know what that meant? It meant a whip.
The sound guy deserves something for
some
that,
kind of
that
an
clip.
award. No,
you gotta give him something.
I am excited to see your special. It's gonna be cool to see it on Netflix too. That's what's up.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be really cool. And as always, follow David and I. And if you want to send us your own drops, your own conspiracy theories, if you know the Black holiday celebration that we here at My Momma Told Me should be creating, send it all to mymommapod@gmail.com. And subscribe, rate, review, do all the things that help the podcast thrive. Go watch it on YouTube. We cherish you all, and we want to make sure that we're able to keep existing, and that's only through the power of your engagement. And buy some merch at Merch Table. That's the whole shebang. Bye, bitch.
Someone get this jigaboo away from me.